Thank you so much. Let's just shift our focus to one of the top stories of the day. The Please Call Me campaign says it will regroup, strategize and decide on the way forward after it placed demands on Vodacom to either pay or renegotiate their payout amount with its inventor Nkosana Makate. They earlier held a protest outside Vodaworld in Midrand, Johannesburg. The telecommunications giant has been embroiled in a protracted legal battle with Makate, who was a Vodacom employee when he thought of this idea. The movement earlier gave the company until 10 a.m. today to resolve the stalemate with Makate, which has now lapsed. The South African Police Service had blocked protesters from entering Vodaworld earlier today. Please Call Me movement convener Modise Sitwaba says the reported 70 billion rand that is owed to Makate is a fair amount. And for more on today's proceedings, let us now talk live to our reporter Mbali Mteto, who joins us live. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Let's just start with the support. We know that there were SMSs doing the rounds yesterday, calling on South Africans to actually go and support the march. How was the support?
Well, a lot of people, thank you so much, Melissa, for having me. A lot of people came through. People were actually bussed in. Some people were bussed in from Soweto. I spoke to someone who said, actually not just one person, but a few people who said they'd come all the way from Orange Farm, which is very far, considering where Midrand is, but people came from faraway places in support of this protest. We also saw the Black First, Land First lobby group also supporting the movement. We heard while we were there, we got a phone call. Actually, the convener got a phone call saying that Land First, Black First has closed down, shut down a branch in Sandton, and he welcomed this and saying that he welcomed the support and he's grateful for the support. So they were looking for more support. You saw on Twitter people also coming out and saying that, listen, if you can't make it to the headquarters, then maybe we should go and protest outside every branch. So it could have potentially been a nationwide thing, given the extent of how much people wanted to support it. You saw people giving support on social media, as well as what you saw, we heard about in Sandton, and we saw hundreds of people there coming in from faraway places. But another thing is that when I spoke to the convener first thing in the morning, he had said that he had just sent away 2 buses and 2 taxis, and indeed there were people did come in droves and buses.
But it was a peaceful march in Bali because security was very tightened.
Yes, it was a peaceful march, although at some point it seemed like it was going to turn violent when we saw the convener Modise Sitwaba, as well as the protesters walking towards the gate and trying to push it down. The police had to intervene, and they created a protective if I can say layer in front of the gate, and they eventually had to bring in 2 of those really big trucks in front of the gate, and also to have police officials standing in front of those vans in order to protect them. And they also had a tape just preventing people from going over that tape and everything. So yeah.
And Mbali, you were able to speak to Vodacom and the convener, of course, of this match. It seems like this matter is not going to be resolved anytime soon.
It doesn't seem like it will, because speaking to head of legal at Vodacom, Ngateko Nyoga, he spoke about how they'd received communication from Makate's lawyers informing them that he would like to take the amount that was given to him by the group CEO under judicial review. Basically what this means is that it's no longer about whether he should be paid or not. It's basically going to court over the actual amount. So what Nkateko Nyoga explained to me was that they had an amount, Makate had come to them with an amount, and they also put an amount and they negotiated, but negotiations collapsed, and as a result they received this communication earlier this week.
And the 10 o'clock deadline that was put in place, it lapsed, of course, and you were in conversation with the legal head of Vodacom. So talk to us about that. What happens now?
Okay, so what happened was when 10 o'clock came, nothing happened. We heard from the convener speaking on the phone saying that, nothing has been wired into Makate's account. And the question on my mind was, how would you know? Are you in communication with him? But I didn't actually get a chance to confirm whether he was in communication or in conversation with Makate. But he did say that the money hadn't gone through, and that's when he'd actually gone in front of the gate and tried to get in, and that's when he was vowing to actually occupy, the premises until they paid, and that's what he'd vowed to do. But he's still calling on people to boycott Vodacom products. He's still calling on people not to use Vodacom products, and also to cancel their contracts with Vodacom. What also happened is that upon speaking with the head of legal, Nkate Konyoka, as I mentioned earlier, he said that it's unfortunate they do take pride in their services and the services that they give, and they are a little concerned about people cancelling their contracts and everything, and the Vodacom brand, and they are willing to pay. However, the amount that they've agreed that their CEO has presented to Makate, and they do believe that he should be paid. So the issue is also just him getting paid, and it's no longer that he should not be compensated. But I want to go back to the 70 billion rand amount.
Yes.
So the 70 billion rand amount is an amount that was put forward by the Please Call Me movement. Okay. They're saying that he should be paid. They believe that he should be paid 70 billion rand, and they say that this is a fair amount. But we've never really gotten an amount from Vodacom.
The official amount.
Yes, the official amount. Yeah. We don't know how much it is. But obviously the movement is saying 70 billion rand is more than enough. Could it be a fair amount.
Could it be maybe they know something that we don't? But is it perhaps, are they perhaps in contact with Makate himself?
That's the only thing I couldn't confirm, really. I mean, that still remains to be answered. But the only thing is that they were saying that they were just making comparisons with the inventor of WhatsApp and how he is worth over 100 billion rand. And they were saying 70 billion rand is nothing if you compare that, because he's come up with an invention himself. Why can't he be paid 70 billion rand? Mm. So it's more of, it doesn't seem like it's something that's backed by any facts, but it's more of it's an invention. You should pay him that much, make him a billionaire, and so on. Yeah. So,
and some people, of course, are saying that the Please Call Me initiative is a free service.
Yes, it is. It's free. It is free. But then there are also concerns about who came up with the actual invention. So there've been talks about how an MTN contractor was the one, in actual fact, who invented the innovation. But the Modise has dismissed this, saying that that's not the case, because these innovations use two completely different, very technical terms. Technical. So I'm just going to say systems. They use two completely different systems, and therefore, Nkosana Makate's Please Call Me is a standalone initiative and the first of its kind. And Please Call Me is also yet another one, even though they might sound like they're similar, but they've two
different systems were applied there. All right, Mbali, we'll leave it at that. I suppose we'll wait and see whether Nkosana Makate will take the amount that was offered to him on review or not. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
All right, many thanks there to SABC reporter Balenhle Mteto. Of course, she was covering the Vodacom march at Vodacom.